Good afternoon. Today we are going to talk about the types of equipments used in the quantity training kitchen, along with some sort of indent standard recipes which helps in the quantity kitchens in terms of productivity and profitability. The first thing that we have to discuss about is the types of equipments, that is of 6 different types. Those are heat generation equipments, cold generation equipments, holding and storage, measuring devices, knives, hand tools and small equipments, processing equipments. In heat generating equipments are those equipments which generate the heats, for example, ranges, ovens, salamanders are few examples which I have mentioned here. Cold generations are those which we use for the cold holding, as we can say, where we keep the things to make sure that the food items or the commodities or the raw materials are maintaining the temperature, where we need to have some sort of below 4 degrees Celsius, so that it does make sure that the food are being kept under such controls where the germs or the pathogens are not disturbing any of the commodities for the future use. Holding and storage are those where we keep the things in proper manner, sequence, and the storage are those where we keep in different patterns in terms of perishable, non-perishable, dry items, package, can, etc. Hot holding equipments in this regards are bain-maries, where we use in the displays and displays counters. Cold holding equipments are those refrigerators, deep freezers, walk-in, where we maintain different kind of temperature accordingly which we require and needed as per the commodities we are stacking in. Pots, pans and containers for the use of cooking, which we basically use in different kitchens, as well as is in quantity kitchens. We basically use different types of pans, different types of utensils for different preparations and different styles and techniques of cooking. In this regards, the storage, this can lead to the different use of equipments, different use of containers in terms of stainless steels, plastic containers, and some sort of say bowls can also be used, where we need to cover it very properly, where we need to have a clean wrap, where we need to have a silver foil, and we have to use accordingly as per the requirements and needs. Number 4 is a measuring device, where we basically used the different measuring spoons, measuring jug, measuring cup are few examples where we need to measure in different units, for example ml, then we can say quarts, we can say the labs, we can say, and then measuring scales, of course it has to be again. Knife, hand tools and small equipments. Knives, as we know, basically we have many different types of knife. For example, oyster knife is also one best example, chef knife, fruit knives, carving knife, boning knife, and hand tools and equipment like the scoopers, spatulas, ladles are a few examples again, where we basically used for the preparation, where we use for the productivity of the food, for the preparations of the food, processing equipments. Processing equipments are those like where the food are been mixed, the food are been the food raw materials are been blended together, the food mixes are been made into puree. For example, the mixer, food processor, buffalo chopper, where the human or the manual works are been reduced as per the requirements, as per the needs and as per the necessity of the tools. Advantages of multi-purpose equipments. What, first of all, we need to say about the multi-purpose equipments. Multi-purpose equipments are those equipments which reduce the human effort or the manual working effort. In this regards, we have to see such kind where the utensils are used in different ways by one utensils or one tools or one equipment, which leads to the multitasking. For example, say a mixer grinder where we can use in making the puree, in making the powder. So this is one example. Why this we have the advantages of the multi-purpose equipments the list have been given here. The first one is the efficiency, that is the number of workload where the human efforts put on is been reduced. For example, the dishwasher, because a human can wash one or two in one time, but in this dishwasher we can wash endless number of plates or say cups, saucer, etc. Cooking speed means it increases the cooking speeds and reduce the time taking. For example, the high range stove we can use. In this we can just say the high range burner. In this we just increase the flame and the boiling of water or the frying or the cooking. That leads the time taking very less, because the flame is very high and the temperature is very high, where we can play around. Play around, it doesn't mean that we have to play with the flame, but play around in the sense that we have to play with the regulator with high, low flame or the simmering process. Then the convenient, it is easy to use and easy to access. Then less space constraint, because if we have a multitasking equipments or the tools, the number which we need to have in the kitchen will be reduced, and the space which is supposed to be occupied by many different tools and equipments can be reduced at one time, and those space can be utilized for stacking, storing, or we can make those areas as a free space to keep something later on in far and near future. Productivity in less time means the high productivity in very less time, because say for example the buffalo chopper, when we chop an onion it takes 10 seconds for example, but in buffalo chopper in 10 seconds it will be chopped down for about 1 to 3 kilos very easily. Not only this, but the blenders, grinders are few examples. In a lesser time it gives you more productivity. Profitability, of course, this is one concern that it has, because the productivity are high, the space constraints are more, less space constraint, yes, convenience, easy to use, and the manpower are less, so of course the productivity will be there. But at the same time it does has an advantages and disadvantages, so we are talking here about the advantages. So it has to be profitability, but the maintenance, of course the care and maintenance has to be taken care. When we take about the care and maintenance very properly, then we can very easily go for a profitable way. Excess motion waste means a less movement area, because we need to have a single switch, or we need to have a single buzzer, or we need to have a single point of work area where we can work multitask. At the same time we can work many different things in one small area, one small space, using 2-3 different tools and equipments. Yes, of course it has to be very careful, reading the manuals, reading the instructions, and knowing the equipments very well. That is the first concern that has to be before working. More accurate work standard and identical workflow, because when a human works on, yes, of course, before the machines people works with hand and it comes with the accuracy, but at the same time we have machines nowadays working on, so the accuracy rate has been increased. At the same time, human efforts have been very less. So it becomes the productivity as well, profitability as well, and again the standard time or standard is been maintained very properly, unless like the humans. Time and cost saving, yes, of course, the things which we do in 1 minute by a human, in the machine, if you do in 1 minute, then the productivity will be in a huge different scales. This can be seen very easily. So these are a few advantages of multi-purpose equipments that we used and we shall discuss about. Next is when we use tools and equipments, of course the most important criteria that we have to keep in mind is the care and maintenance, because without the care and maintenance you cannot keep tools and equipment for a longer period of time. So for care and maintenance of equipments, we talk about a lot about the care and maintenance. So let's just see what is a care and what is a maintenance first. Care means taking care of. Then maintenance is something to maintain the things for a long run. So if we do beautifully or properly maintenance, taking care, then we can make things a long run. We have to think ourselves that the tools and equipments is like a children or a baby where we need to take a very good care of. So what happened here is we need to understand which kind of tools and equipments we are dealing with, and which kind of tools and equipments which we are using. So accordingly, we need to have different ways of preparations, with different ways of maintaining, different ways of caring, and different ways of cleaning and stacking and reassembling. So there are here a few points have been mentioned. The number one is using equipments properly, cleaning and sanitizing, of course, to make sure that it has been free from pathogens and it's been clean and highly sanitized, and the HACCP has been maintained, hazard days have been free from. Giving proper giving proper training and knowledge about the equipments to the fellow workers who don't know, who is very new to the industry or who is very new to the equipments and tools, has to be instructed what has to be and what has not to be done. Drying and reassembling, of course, everyone knows about it. Greasing and oiling is one of the most important factors for the high or heavy tools and equipments. Without this, the rotatory functions might be affected, and it may become a hazardous at the end of the moment. Adopting a regular inspection, yes, if you do not do it, it might have a short circuit, it might cause an accident, it might cause a hazard to you or to me or to anyone. Use it correctly before the instructions given, following the instruction given, Ensure that the person performing the machines knows about the machines and are competent. Set a system for removal and taking of damage or the defective tools and equipments. This has to be, we have to take a very good care about the cleaning and maintenance, because without this we cannot make it. Because for the long run, if we do a very good care, we need to have the idea, we need to have the knowledge, we need to have the care and maintenance very properly. If not, then the tools and equipments will lead to the the cost of the company. All right, a very new